YouTube's Ask Studio feature is here. It's the AI assistant baked into the back of YouTube Studio to help you analyze, brainstorm, whatever else on your YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to show you where is it on the back end of YouTube Studio? What does it look like when using it? Some of the prompts that it recommends and ways that it recommends to be utilized best for you as a creator, YouTube's best practices for the Ask Studio app, and then some things to consider, some warnings about where it can be inaccurate. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first time you go to the back end of YouTube Studio, you might not see the Ask Studio button right away, but as you see what just happened there, it can populate later. But if you want a clear and easy way to make sure that you always see it, you can go to your analytics tab. You'll see the prompts on the top, and then you'll see this little starburst looking icon here. You can click to activate the studio. Now that we've opened the Ask Studio app, it says, welcome channel name. How can I help you today? And it gives you a few recommended prompts on how best to utilize it. Ranging from how can Studio actually help me, which might be a fair one to click on first. So let's go ahead and give you an example of this tool in action. So once you click on the prompt that is suggested there, it's going to very much in a very similar AI fashion way generate a result. And it gives you its best utilizations according to itself on how to use it for YouTube Studio, which comes with a sense of performance analysis, audience insights, content and brainstorming development, and YouTube Studio support. Okay, it can help you with general information, etc. That's what the support. It does not get you connected with YouTube support. Just to make that clear, they actually clarify that in their Google support page. So what are some examples of the insights or analytics you could ask these tools? So I've actually pulled up 2024's data here, so I can give you an example of whether it's accurate or not on some of the basic questions you might ask it. For example, how many views did the channel get in 2024? So in theory, we should get around 4.3 million, right? That's what we're looking for, just to make sure. All right. And it does. It says your channel received 4.3 million views, essentially. Obviously, it gets very specific. And it was a 15.8% decrease from the previous year. Great insight. It's a great way to go a little bit farther back because obviously in 2024, that's a readily available metric. I have it right there on the side for you to see. But for example, maybe I want to know what happened in 2019. What about the last 5 years? Let's just go 5 years. And hopefully it breaks down the last 5 years for me. This is an example of me utilizing the tool. So here we go. Okay. It didn't do what I was thinking. It did it as a whole, right? How many views I've received in that 5-year span. So this is just an example, once again, that you have to be a little bit more specific with your prompting, as is a common theme when it comes to AI. So I might ask something like this. Can you break out each year specifically? And we wait for the results. It's been pretty quick depending on what you ask, especially some of this basic stuff. And there you go. 2020, there's 10 million views. 2021, there's 6 million views. 2022, there's 6 points, and so on and so forth, right? Now, I didn't feel the need to give me all the percentage increase and decrease year over year. So that might be another layer that I'll ask it, right? I'll say, can I have the percentage increase or decrease year over year? And this is a great example of how it can do quick analysis for you when this is something we used to have to do manually, do the math with a calculator, folks, back in the good old days. And so it gives you those metrics, as you can see here. Now, that's just one example of the way that you can access analytics with the Ask Studio app without having to navigate all to the different timeframes, grab the two numbers, and do the math yourself. But I will warn you that the more complicated you get with your performance analysis, the more that the AI can mess up, right? We already saw an example where specific prompting was really beneficial and needed to get the thing that I was looking for. But here's an example of a really deep analysis element that I sometimes do in channels that it did not do so well with. For example, there's sometimes analytic looks that I like to have for various reports. One being like, how much did the years prior and the videos uploaded during those years impact or play part in the year to dates current views, revenue, watch time. It's a little bit more of a complicated look, but it's one that I like for a variety of reasons. I asked it to do this, which it might not be the perfect prompt. That's all part of this game, but it is a prompt that I thought I could follow. But what was more jarring was how inaccurate it was when it came to what it provided me answer-wise. It's like, oh, here's the total views, 734,000 views. And it breaks it down. The 606,000 views was 2025, 128,000 views was the other years. Sounds great. You're like, oh, it did it. But if you look to the left here, that's 2.4 million views. The watch hours are not correct. The revenue is off about like $10,000. And so I'm like, is this excluded shorts? Something wrong, please try again. I tell that I see 2.4 million views. Well, then it just chucks them in there and says 1.6 million are unaccounted for, which is like, well, that's not helpful at all. And I keep going back and forth, asking, and it just keeps trying to make me happy without providing a great answer. And this eventually got to where I got to quit, and it just kept saying something went wrong. And this is something you just have to be careful about when using a tool like this. You have to check your work. And you have to know what you're looking for, or you're going to end up with results like this. And you might put that in a report or an insight without checking, and it's going to make you look real stupid. So make sure you know what you're looking for, and AI can be wrong. It's a large language model that is learning, and once it gets past its recommended prompts and simplistic questions, it can get a little dicey. It's not a deep analyst at this point in time. Not mean that it's not helpful, but it does have limitations. Now heading back to the channel, let me give you examples of the other prompts that it suggests, and they're kind of broken up into different categories. Mainly with, like I said, with when we looked here, it had them broken into categories very similarly in the prompting section. So as you get to the suggested library, it has a couple categories. The general one is, how can you ask to help me? We already have done that. Then it's catch up on your latest video. So it gives you insights into the most recent video that you've posted, summarizing comments, performance, etc. Get inspired for your next content. Understand your channel and community. Engage with your community. And these all work in a very similar AI prompting fashion. For the sake of time, I'm not going to drill into every single one of these. But for example, I might click summarize performance on my latest video. I click that and it's going to pull in the data for the most recent thing posted on the channel. Now I'm back with the actual results of this prompting. It took about 30 seconds, maybe 20 seconds to get this result, which is a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but it gives me a breakdown of how this video did. So it was a short that was recently posted, did well in its first 5 days compared to shorts performance over 4 days. So just give me a little bit of analysis. Had 17,266 views, which is significantly above the typical range. All right. The watch ratio highlights some of the things you would look for, particularly on a short. 65% stayed the watch versus a video is performing above the average, which is 49 to 55%. And then gives you the average view duration, which is above. So this, for this channel, was an above average short performance. It gives you ideas about the retention. This is where it gets a little interesting. The video maintains high retention for the first 7 seconds, indicating a strong hook, gradual decline, and then further significance as it carries on. So that's actually really helpful information where you want to analyze, hey, where were the dips here? Because I will call out that it tends to call out the dip at the beginning of the video, which is very common with many videos when it comes to retention, but this is still helpful information. Now, I'll be completely honest. I've used a variety of these prompts, and I will say the most useful one has been basic analysis and insights that would regularly take me a little bit of time to navigate to, that I can get the Studio app to populate for me. When it comes to title recommendations and brainstorming, it's about as useful as the inspiration tab is on YouTube. At this time, I've not found this to be a ton more beneficial than what I already have had access to with the channel and the inspiration tab. And on top of that, the titling, there's some questions on, like, it likes to use the colons for some, like there's some things that are very AI-y that it still does. When it comes to some of the other things, like getting like quick definitions for what this analytic is supremely helpful. I love that for almost this feature alone. There's always new things showing up on YouTube, and it's super helpful to just get a quick synopsis of what this is. You could always hover over the feature and get like a real quick tidbit, but it's nice that I have something that I can ask that's directly related to YouTube and nothing else. And I noticed pulling information from one of two locations, your channel data and the internet. Which brings me to, what is YouTube's best practices when it comes to using Ask Studio? Well, as you guys know, I love to go to the Google support pages to show us exactly what YouTube thinks we should know when it comes to using this. Learn about Ask Studio and YouTube Studio. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it is your AI creative partner integrated into YouTube Studio that helps you summarize comments and feedback. Like I said, a lot of the third-party app things that are out there now baked into YouTube Studio. I'm going to skip past some of this. Not everyone has access, and this is very much going to be creators in the United States first. So if you are international, this is probably not something you're going to have access to anytime soon. Best practices for using Ask Studio. Begin with a clear objective. Think about what you want to achieve. Are you looking for insights on your community or to understand your latest video analytics better? This is a clear, no pun intended, challenge with AI. If you don't know what you're prompting it for, you're going to find challenging results because it is connecting patterns. This is how a large language model AI works. I will show you the page where it says it's not a human, okay? It's just trying to put things together, and it understands things as it garners a lot of information. So if you're not clear and you don't know, it's not necessarily going to know, or it will take a guess at what it thinks you want to know. You don't know what you want to know. So you end up not knowing what you want to know. So the AI is telling you what you think you should know. And then you use what you think you should know in a meeting or to make analysis. And it's actually the wrong path for your channel, thus leaving you in a situation where it's maybe not beneficial. So be clear and know what you're doing. Be specific with your questions, with your prompts, right? The more precise your prompts, the better the AI can tailor its responses. For example, instead of saying, tell me about my channel, try, what are the common themes and comments on my recent videos about X topic? Very specific, clear action, and it can curate that information for you. How did my video title perform recently? Which brings me to something I want to show you. If you want to get insights about a specific video, there's a plus button here that you can click and it will show you your recent videos and you can add them into this where you get specific insights about that video. Back over to our Google support page, it gives you a note at the end here. As I just showed you, you can add any video by typing or clicking on the add plus in the chat box. Try utilizing suggested prompts. Here's the reality, folks. The predefined ones are going to work the best. It's the ones that they've indicated that it can do a pretty gosh darn good job at. And it will cover a lot of the bases when it comes to basic utilization of this tool. Like summarize comments, refine your question. You can also use the built-in guide, How Can Ask Studio Help Me, which we went through at the beginning of this video. Experiment. You could try different phrasing or follow-up questions if the initial response is exactly what you're looking for. Now, there's a question that you might be asking is, how is YouTube going to be using my data when I engage with the Ask Studio AI? So it's kind of a wordplay on the Google support page, and I think I've parsed it apart, but let's walk through it together. It says, how is data collected and used? It says, by interacting with Ask Studio, we'll collect data around your usage of the feature, including your conversations and feedback that you submit. This data, how it's going to be used, will be used to develop and improve the product experience. This data will not be used to train the underlying generative machine learning models that powers this product. The conversations with your channel as part of your interaction Ask Studio will be deleted automatically after 45 days. And then it talks about the human review process, etc. I'm a little confused because my brain would tell me you wanted to help teach the generative machine learning models, at least maybe some of the text prompts. But then I also understand potentially you don't want your data shared, which I totally get. Nobody does. And so there's a little bit of mental gymnastics here. You can determine whether you want to utilize that or not, or you have some trepidation there. But they do give you some feedback feature. And I would recommend you doing this, okay? It tells you exactly how to do it. If you're running into an issue or something that it doesn't know how to do or a challenge or it's just straight up wrong, let YouTube know. Let them actually work on that problem, because this is a great feature, but it's only going to get better if we are actively trying to help it get better. But then there's some frequently asked questions at the bottom of this page that you might be wondering. How does Ask Studio actually work? And that's where it talks about the large language model, right? Ask Studio is designed to provide answers to questions about your YouTube channel performance, comments on your video, and generate new video ideas. Responses are generated by large language models, and then it goes into a whole about exactly how these work. You can go to this page, you can watch the video where it basically says, hey, and I told you this at the beginning, it's not a human being. It can't think for or feel emotions. It's just great at fighting patterns, and this is where it sometimes can be wrong. What are things to keep in mind with Ask Studio? The tool won't connect you to support for creators. Okay, that's not how this is used. So can't do it. Tailored answers. While Studio aims to provide the most tailored answers in cases where specific context is required, to answer your question is unavailable, it will either provide a more general response or it'll just break, as we saw. My specific channel and videos, YouTube Ask Studio works with your channel, not other channels. It can't analyze another channel's data. It analyzes your channel's data. So you can't, no competitor analysis here. Okay. So here's an example of me asking for some competitor analysis, and this is what Ask Studio told me. I'm here to help you grow your channel. However, I cannot provide competitor analysis of other channels. My capabilities are focused on analyzing your channel's performance, right? And it breaks that all down. So just doubling down on what Google support says it can't do it, it won't do it. Even if it's something generic, like give me some competitor analysis of other channels like me. Another question I have is whether this tool is strictly text prompts or can it make graphs or anything along those natures. So I went ahead and asked Studio if it can make me some graphs and do some neat features, and this was the result. So I asked for viewer review data visualization, as I mentioned, and it says I cannot directly do that. So this is all text based when it comes to Ask Studio at this moment in time. So if you're looking for it to do some of the things that ChatGPT can do, it cannot at this moment in time. So it does have some limitations. Overall, I'm very excited about the Ask Studio feature. I think it's a great way for you to get quick definitions of analytics and insights and pull quick metrics that maybe would have taken you a little bit more time to grab on the back end of YouTube Studio. But the deeper and deeper you go into the analysis, you better know what you're doing. These are my biggest takeaways. This is AI integrated to your YouTube Studio directly with your data. It can really expedite things, but you should know what your data means. Don't let this think for you. And especially as you get into deeper analysis, you better know how to do that analysis, because as I already showed you in this video, it can just straight up be wrong. It is trying to answer your question and sometimes is willing to give you an incorrect answer because it thinks it's what you want and it's trying to deliver on what it's supposed to do. It is a pattern machine. It is not a human. So you need to consider that when you are doing analysis. Don't turn in reports. Don't give your insights and you have it cross-referenced or checked the most basic things, because it's going to get you in trouble. So use this with a grain of salt. It's great, by the way. I really like this feature. It's helped me already expedite certain insights that would have taken me more time. It's allowed me to get quick definitions or even quick little tidbits about how something works that's a little bit better from it than me necessarily trying to type that out myself. One other thing I want to call out is I specifically asked it to give me insights about the visuals of the video. It can't analyze the visuals of the video. It might even say that it knows something about the visuals of the video when it certainly does not. The only way that it's pulling that is from retention metrics and comments. So it's at this time not able to watch or understand your video. I specifically asked what was in the background of a particular part of the video and was unable to do so. So it's just something to think about when it's giving you tips on editing. It's more pulling that from the sentiment and retention. It is not actually watching your video. Overall, I'm a big fan of Ask Studio. It is a strategist that you might not have on your team that you get access to right away. And for basic analysis and metrics, it can be really helpful. For basic information, it can be supremely helpful. For even some brainstorming, there might be a place for it. Don't let it take over your creative process and your creative thinking and your intuition when it comes to what's best for your channel, because ultimately AI is not going to drive the ship. It's just going to help you plot the course a little bit better. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you found this video useful, let me know in the comments. And until next time, happy creating, everyone.